Hi, everyone, and welcome to Laetare Sunday. This is the fourth Sunday of Lent, and Laetare in Latin means rejoice. So we're in Lent. It might be a challenging Lent. It might be a good Lent. Well, if it's challenging, it's also good. But what we want to remember is that Jesus is our hope. And so this Sunday we are rejoicing that we are closer to Easter, to the resurrection. And so, this gospel reading today really reflects that. So, straight up, 100%, we have a miracle today. Jesus cures a blind man. Okay, this is not a trick. This isn't anything of that nature. I mean, Jesus really cured a blind man. But what's interesting about this is how hard everyone tries to make it that it's not a miracle. I mean, when we're looking through this, it's so interesting to see how first, it must not be that guy. It must be a mistaken identity. And then, they're questioning the parents, like, is this really your son? Was he really born blind? No, he was just hanging out there for the longest time pretending to be blind. This is how absurd things get when Jesus does something wonderful for us, and yet our minds go elsewhere. With the rise of secularism, and this isn't really all that new, it's gotten much more radical lately within the last few decades. But there was, for the last few hundred years, there's been this attempt to what's called demythologize the Bible, to get rid of all the miracles and just to have the good lessons from the scriptures, which renders the Bible and what Jesus is saying completely useless. This is the Jesus is a good teacher kind of thing, but nothing else. No, he's not. He's claiming to be God. Now, if someone comes up to you and claims to be God, you have a decision to make. And C.S. Lewis talks about this. He's either a liar, he's a lunatic, or he is, in fact, God. And the fact that most people go around claiming to be God can't do anything about it. Jesus cures a blind man. He helps a man who couldn't see to see again. Okay. And so I highly recommend not falling into this secularization of the Bible. Okay, to make it seem like, well, it's an important historical thing that we just look at, and it's got some neat lessons in it. No. I mean, it's not worth reading if it's not talking about the living God. Okay, and Jesus is not someone who's worth being neutral about. Okay, if Jesus is a liar or a lunatic, you need to reject him. But it's our belief that he is God and he cured this man. Thanks be to God. Okay, he's God, and that's how he's able to do that. So, but we find ourselves still knowing that and not being appreciative to God for all the miracles that he's performed in our lives, right? If we're here today, if we're listening to this message, if we're here at Mass on Laetare Sunday, God has cured our blindness. We have eyes to see and ears to hear the message of God. We have eyes to see who Jesus Christ really is. And we can hear with the ears of our heart, right? And so even better than receiving our sight again if we had never had it or if we had lost it, Jesus is allowing us to know him and to grow in great intimacy with him. Thanks be to God. That's something to rejoice over, because so many and more people are rejecting the message of the gospel. Or they think they're being neutral by saying, well, he's a nice guy or something like that. It's almost as insulting as rejecting him. Okay, he is God. He is the second person of the most holy Trinity. Like I said, he's given us this miracle to have eyes to see and ears to hear. We've been given that gift of faith. We've been taken out of darkness and put into light. Why is it then that we want to go back into the darkness and to be like everyone else who's in the darkness? I don't know. It's the mystery of sin, right? It's the mystery of evil. But if we are to rejoice this Sunday, then let us not try to make excuse like the Pharisees, who even throw this man out of the temple, the place of worship, because he testifies to Jesus. And this can happen to us too, right? We can see, we can hear, and those who can't get really mad and jealous, and they can't help but persecute those who have eyes to see and ears to hear. And so they throw out the disciples of Jesus. And we are to rejoice even when that happens. Right? Because we cannot give them the power to steal our joy. Our joy comes from Jesus alone, who can work miracles and who is God. So as we approach the table of the Lord today and we receive Jesus in the Eucharist, and he literally dwells in us, let us ask that our eyes become even clearer and our ears become even more attuned to his voice, so that one day we may see him in heaven face to face.